Students, in this session I am going to start the new chapter, which is chapter number 3, Analytical Geometry. I think you all learned in 10th standard about geometry concept, isn't it? Yes. In geometry, in 10th standard you have learned about what? One full chapter you have learned as geometry, and the another what? Practical geometry, theoretical geometry, coordinate geometry, all type of geometry you have learned. Now tell me, what is geometry? Okay, what is the study of this geometry? Tell me. Yes, we have studied about what? Points, lines, curves, surface, like that we have studied in that geometry. Now we'll see about what is the importance of studying this analytical geometry. Okay, in this analytical geometry, we'll establish the correspondence between the geometric curves and as well as the algebraic expression. Okay, so we'll be dealing here curves, everything, and as well as we'll solve the problem by algebraic expressions. Algebraic expression means what? X square, y square, a minus b the whole square, that like that concept, distance, formula, everything will be using the algebraic expression, algebraic equations. Clear, students? Now this, who is the father of analytical geometry, if you see, means René Descartes. Okay, in your book the famous mathematician phrase is given, you go through it. Clear? Now analytical geometry is extremely where they are using, if you see, means where they are using in aircraft industry. I think you all know what is aircraft industry. Aircraft industry means where they are making the aeroplane parts. Clear? So in that aircraft industry, especially when dealing with the shape of airplane fuselage, they are using the analytical geometry concepts. Clear, students? Now, in the analytical geometry, the first concept which is given in your book is locus. Okay, now first I'll explain the concept about locus. See, locus is nothing but a collection of points. Okay, for example, this is the board, this is in the plane surface. So in that plane surface, I will explain this. I am taking one point. Okay, I am taking one point and I am going to collect the points. Okay, so you can imagine here one point is there. So I am going to collect some of the point around this. So, collection of a point with some specified geometrical condition is called a locus. Okay, so the first we will see about forming a circle. Okay, using the concept of locus, we will see the how to form a circle. See, for that the condition is you have to fix one point, and as well as you have to fix the distance. See, if you are fixing the distance 5 centimeter, around this point you will be having more point, isn't it? You will be having 7 centimeter one point, you will be having again 5 centimeter, you will be having 2 centimeter, you will be having 6 centimeter, like that points you will be having. So, but you have to fix the point and as well as you have to fix a one distance. Suppose if you are fixing the distance as 5 centimeter, then you have to draw everywhere the same 5 centimeter. Okay, after drawing this 5 centimeter, you have to trace a moving point. Like this you have to trace. Okay, like this you have to trace a moving point under some specified geometrical condition. Okay, is called a locus. Clear? What if to forming a circle, what we have to do? We have to do one fixed point and as well as a fixed distance. Okay, you should not now see the remaining distance. You have to, once you have fixed with 5 centimeter, then you have to trace the path by moving a point under some specified geometrical condition, which is called as locus. Clear now, students, what is locus? Yes, in the locus concept, next we will see about forming a perpendicular bisector. Okay, we are going to see about forming a perpendicular bisector. See, to form a perpendicular bisector, we have to take a 2 point. Okay, now this is the point A and this is the point B. Then if you join this 2 point, what we will get? We will get a line segment. Isn't it? Now let us find a point which is equidistant from 2 point. we have to find a equidistance point. Okay, which means see from A to this point, this here. If it is 3 centimeter, then here also you have to draw 3 centimeter. The down also what the same distance you have to draw it. Clear? So the point which is equidistant from 2 points I have drawn using the dotted lines. Clear all of you? So after drawing this you have to join all the points. See, I have drawn a straight line. No, after drawing the equidistance point, I am joining the line. Clear? That line is perpendicular to the line AB. Clear now? That perpendicular bisector is also called as locus. Clear students? Clear all of you? Actually we get a line like this. Okay? This line is what? Perpendicular bisector of the line AB. Clear all of you what I am saying? Students, you are not going to copy these as your notes in your classwork. You are going to copy which is given in your page number 84. The locus definition they have given and as well as equation of a locus they have given in your book. That only you are going to copy it from your book in your classwork. Clear? In that equation of your focus you will be having your two diagram, the same diagram you will be having. So that two diagram also you are going to copy it in your classwork. Clear? Just for your understanding I have written this note. This is not the exact notes. Clear students? Now all of you are clear about the concept locus? Yes. Now we will see how to apply this in your exercise problem. Clear? Yes. We will start the exercise now. In exercise 3.1, we are going to see the first question. See the question, find the locus of a point which is equidistant from 1, 3 and x-axis. What they are asking? They are asking the locus of a point which is, it should be equidistant. Equidistant means equal distance. Okay, from where it should be equal distance means from 1, 3 and as well as from x-axis both should be equal distance we have to have. Isn't it? Now, first I'll explain this side, then I'll explain the solution. See, 1, 3 means in the graph where you will be plot. See, in the x-axis you will be seeing 1. So from origin to 1 you will be moving and 3 means x, y. Isn't it? So 3 means you will be going here. So 1, 3 is the point here. Okay. So they are saying the locus of a point should be equidistant. So I itself am taking the point P x1, y1. Okay. It should be equal distance from A to P and to x-axis. So from to the x-axis, this is our x-axis, isn't it? You all know this is our x-axis. Then what is this? This is our y-axis. So I itself have taken the point P and I am keeping the another point B. It is in the x-axis. Okay. So now if you see PA is equal to PB because they are given here equidistance. So the point which you are taking that should be equidistance to the point 1, 3 and as well as to the x-axis. So see, for your representing equal I am writing a double line. So PA is equal to PB. Okay, what formula we are going to use means distance formula we are going to use. Okay, distance formula you have learned from the 9th standard onwards. Isn't it? What is the distance formula you know? See, I have written there x1 minus x2 the whole square plus y1 minus y2 the whole square is equal to d square. Okay, that is the distance formula. Clear all of you? Now we'll start the solution. See, I itself have taken the point P. So that should be what? x1, y1. So let P of x1, y1 be a moving point. Okay, be a moving point on the locus. Clear? Now, so what we have, they have given equidistance means PA is equal to PB. They have given in the question itself. See, so only I have written PA is equal to PB. Since what I told you, you have to use the distance, you have to find the distance of PA and PB. What formula we have to apply here? we have to apply a distance formula only. Isn't it? So distance formula is what? X1 minus x2 the whole square plus y1 minus y2 the whole square, I told you. Okay, so P, if you see, what is the point? X1 comma y1. A, what is the point? 1 comma 3. See, I have written down. Okay, so x1 y1 is same x1 y1, A is x2 y2. Okay, to apply in this formula, we have to know what is x1, what is x2, what is y1 and what is y2. We have to know, isn't it? So PA means P is 1 point. So that is x1 comma y1. A is 1 point, that is 1 comma 3. So using the 2 point, we are going to apply the distance formula. Clear? Now if you see in the right hand side, I have written PB square. Okay, for P alone you are having the point. For B, do you have point? We are not having the point. So how will you write this means? See, PB means what? This is y1, isn't it? So this side only x1. Here this side is y1, isn't it? See here for your understanding. Here from origin, if you move this side, this is what? X-axis. If you move to the vertically, this is the y-axis, isn't it? So for example, if you are giving the point 2 comma 3, where you will be plot? From the origin, you will be moving 2 units to the x-axis and you will be moving 3 units to the y-axis. So this line is what? Y1 and this is what? X-axis. So PB will be what? Y. Isn't it? So from origin to B it will be x1. From B to P it is y1. So the distance between PB is what? Y1. Clear? Since we are applying here P distance formula, for this given I am writing the square. Okay, squaring on both sides. Okay, now PB distance is what? Just y1 square. Clear? Now we'll see the solution. X1 minus x2, what I have written? 1. So minus 1 the whole square. Plus y1 is what? Same y1 itself. Minus y2 is what? 3 whole square is equal to y1 square. Clear? Now say me what formula you will be applying here? A minus b the whole square formula. Here also A minus b the whole square formula. Isn't it? I think you all know A minus b the whole square formula. Isn't it? What is A minus b whole square formula? See, I have written A minus b the whole square formula. According to that, we are going to expand this. A square means in the place of A, what we are having? X1 square. B square means in the place of B, we are having 1. So 1 square minus 2 into A into B. So 2 into A is x1, B is 1. So 2 into x1 into 1 is 2x1 only. Plus, this is again A minus B the whole square formula. A square, this is B square, minus 2AB is equal to Y1 square. Clear now all of you? The next step, if you see x1 square, 1 minus 2x1 plus y1 square, 3 if you square we will get 9, 2 3s are what? 6, y1 equal to y1 square. Clear? The next step, I am writing first x1 square minus 2x1 minus 6y1 plus y square. Here plus 1 and plus 9 is there. So 9 plus 1 is what? 10. I am taking the y1 square inside. So if I take y1 square inside, what? Minus y1 square we are having and plus y1 square we are having. See, both it will be cancelled. So what is left remaining? X1 square minus 2x1 minus 6y1 plus 10 equal to 0. So therefore the locus of x1 comma y1 is the same thing only you are going to write as answer, but you should not write x1, y1 you should not write. You have to write just x and as well as just y you have to write. Because they are asking locus of the point x1 and y1 they are asking, no. So you should not write x1, y1. Okay. x1 square means you have to write x square. Minus 2x1 means you have to write just 2x. 6y1 means you have to write just minus 6y plus 10 equal to 0. This is the locus of the point x1 comma y1. I hope you all understood the first question. Isn't it? It is very easy only. Second question, a point moves so that it is always at a distance of 4 units from the point 3 comma minus 2. Okay, now what they are saying, one point is moving and they have given another point. Then the distance between the 2 points they have given us 4 units. Clear? In the starting introduction part itself, I told you for the circle, so drawing a circle with locus, what concept I told you? You have to keep one fixed point and as well as you have to keep one fixed distance. I told you, isn't it? So both the thing they have given here. See, they have given the fixed point is 3 comma minus 2. So I have taken that as A, 3 comma minus 2. Okay, and one point is moving. So at which distance it is moving means at a distance of 4 unit another point is moving. Okay, it can be a parabola, it can be a circle, it can be anything. Okay, like that it is moving. Okay, now that point also we don't know, so I am taking that as x1 comma y1. Clear now? So they are given a fixed point A 3 comma minus 2 with the point is moving 4 units to the point P x1 comma y1. So the moving point is what? P. The fixed point is what? A. The fixed distance is what? 4 units. Clear all of you the question? See, let P of x1 comma y1 be the moving point on the locus. So this is the point which is moving on the locus. So they have given what? A is the fixed point. A 3 comma minus 2 is the fixed point. They have given PA is equal to what distance they have given? 4 units they have given. So PA is equal to 4 units. I told you that we want to find the distance means what formula we will be applying? The same distance formula only. See, distance formula is equal to in 9th standard, 10th standard you have learned with the square root only. Isn't it? x1 square root of x1 minus x2. Otherwise you will be learning x2 minus x1. Both are correct only. Because we are having a whole square, so it will not be a problem. Clear? x1 minus x2 the whole square plus y1 minus y2 the whole square. So to avoid the square root, we are taking here this side. That square root is coming here as square. Clear? We don't need the square root at all. So for that reason we are squaring here. So d square equal to, see the next step I have not written the square root. Clear now? Why we are not writing the square root distance formula? Because this side we are taking that square. Clear? Now PA, for that distance P point we know, A point we know. What is the P point? x1 comma y1. What is the A point? 3 comma minus 2. I am going to apply here distance formula. Clear? So PA is equal to 4. If you are taking PA means you have to apply here square root. So to avoid the square root I am writing here squaring on both sides. Okay, if I am having a square then no need to put here square root. So to that, for that reason I am squaring on both sides. So PA square equal to 4 if you square I am doing. So the next step I have written 16. So PA, for PA square I have written, this is the distance formula. The next step only I am applying the value. x1 minus x2 is what? 3 the whole square plus y1 is what? The same y1 minus, in formula 1 minus is there. y2 value is minus 2. So in formula 1 minus and the y2 is also again minus. So minus minus it will become plus. So I have written here plus 2 the whole square is equal to 16. Clear all of you? The next step it is looks like a minus b whole square formula and it looks like the a plus b the whole square formula. That both the formulas from the 7th standard you are learning. I think you all know that. Isn't it? A square minus 2ab plus b square. Formula is what? A minus b the whole square formula. A plus b whole square formula means a square plus 2ab plus b square. So a square means in the place of a we are having x1. So x1 square minus 2 into a. A is x1, b is 3. Plus I have written a square minus 2ab. Still b square is there. So b is what? 3. So 3 square. Clear? Plus y again here a plus b the whole square. So y1 square plus 2ab plus b square is equal to 16. Clear all of you up to this? Next step if you see x1 square, 2 3s are 6 x1, 3 square is 9 plus y1 square, what 2 2s are 4 y1, 2 square is 4 is equal to 16 I have written. Clear? Now if you see x1 square plus y1 square, I am writing first. Okay, then y1 square minus 6x1 plus 4y1, 9 plus 4 is what? 13. I am taking the 16 inside. So x1 square plus y1 square minus 6x1 plus 4y1, 13 minus 16, answer is what? Minus 3 is equal to 0. They are asking the locus of the point. So the locus of point x1 comma y1 is the same question you are going to write as answer, but you should not put x1 y1. You have to just write xy. Clear? See, x square plus y square minus 6x plus 4y minus 3 equal to 0. Clear all of you the second question? Third question, if the distance of a point from the points 2, 1 and 1, 2 are in the ratio 2:1, then find the locus of the point. Students, they were saying the distance of the 2 point, which is, let us take the first point as A. A is 2, 1 and the second point B is 1, 2. The distance of a 2 point from the point 2, 1 and 1, 2 are in the ratio 2:1. They are given 2:1. We have to find the locus of the point. So which means what? Locus, this point, moving point we have to find. So this is the Px1, y1. Here we have to find the moving point locus and we have given the ratio 2:1. Now let P of x1, y1 be a moving point. In the question they have given PA ratio, PA is to PB ratio they are given as 2:1. So usually they have given in ratio means we will be writing in the divide form. So PA by PB is equal to 2 by 1. The next step I am doing the cross multiplication. So 1 into PA is PA, PB into 2 is 2PB. Okay, now we are going to apply a distance formula. Isn't it? I told you to avoid the square root. We here itself first we can do the squaring on both sides. If you are having square, no need to put the square root, I told you. Isn't it? So I am doing the squaring on both sides. So PA square is equal to 2. If you square, what we will get? 4. So 4 PB square. Here now P point we know x1, y1. A point is what? 2, 1. Similarly PB means P point x1, y1. B means 1, 2. Clear? Now I have written here this is the distance formula. Okay, 4 into again PB I am going to apply the distance formula. So this and this are the distance formula I have written here. Here now x1, what is the x1 in the question? The same x1. What is x2 in the question? 2. So minus 2 the whole square plus y1 minus y2 means what? 1 the whole square is equal to 4. x1 minus x2 is what? For PB you have to see x2 is 1 whole square plus y1 minus y2 is what? 2. So 2 the whole square. Clear? Again this is in the form of a minus b the whole square, a minus b the whole square and this also a minus b whole square. Everything is in a minus b the whole square. Okay, now I am expanding everything. So x minus 2 the whole square means if we expand in a minus b the whole square formula, what we will get? A square minus 2 into a into b plus b square. Okay, y1 minus 1 the whole square if we expand, a square minus 2 into a into b plus b square is equal to, since I have no space I am writing the down. You have to write in a classwork continuously. 4 into what? Again x minus 1 the whole square. So x square, a square minus 2ab plus b square plus again a minus b the whole square. A square minus 2ab plus b square. Clear? Next in the step x1 square minus 4x1 plus 4 y1 square minus 2y1, 1 square is 1 is equal to 4 into x1 square minus 2x1 1 plus y square minus 4y1 plus 4. The next step what I am doing means I am taking the 4 inside. Clear? x1 square minus 4x1 plus y1 square minus 2y1. 4 plus 1 is 5. Clear? The next step I am taking the 4 inside. Clear? When I am taking the 4 inside, 4 into x1 square is 4x1 square. 4 2s are 8x1. So I am not multiplying 4 into 1. Wait, I will tell you last. 4 into y1 square is 4y1 square. 4 into minus 4y1 is 16y1. See, I have what here having 1 here plus 4. So 1 plus 4 is what? 5 we know. So we will consider that 1 plus 4 as 5. Then this 4 into 5 will be what? 20. So I have written directly here 20. Okay. So plus 20 I have written. Clear? Next step, if you see here 4x1 square we are having. So this I am going to keep this side, right hand side as such. See, I have written the right hand side as such. I am going to take the LHS part to the right hand side. So it will become the negative, the sign will be become changed. Positive means negative, negative means positive. So I first am writing 4x1 square minus 8x1 plus 4y1 square minus 16y1 plus 20 minus x1 square plus 4x1 minus y1 square minus 2y1. Here minus is there. So if it comes, it will become plus. Here plus 5 is there, so it comes minus equal to 0. Clear? Here 4x1 square is there, here minus x1 square is there. So 4 minus 1 is 3x1 square. Then we will write afterwards y1 square. So 4y1 square is there, here minus y1 square is there. So 4 minus 1 is 3y1 square. Okay, next I am going to write x1. Minus 8x1, 4x1. So minus 4x1. Clear? Next y1 minus 16y1. Then another y1 where we are having here plus 2y1. Minus 16 plus 2 is minus 14y1. Clear? So 20 minus 5 is 15 equal to 0. Clear? Now locus of x1 comma y1 is, how will you write the last line? We will be writing without x1 y1, we will be just writing xy. Isn't it? Therefore the same answer I am writing down without x1 and y1. Clear? Now locus of x1 and y1, the point is 3x square plus 3y square minus 4x minus 14y plus 15 is equal to 0. Clear, students, all of you? The third question. Fourth question. Find a point on x-axis which equidistance from the point 7, minus 6 and 3, 4. In the fourth question, they are asking to find one point. That point is on x-axis, they were saying. Okay, and they are given the two fixed point. What are the two fixed point they are given? A is 7, minus 6, and the another point they are given B 3, 4. Okay, see they have given one int, their point, we have to find one point, no, that point it is lying in the x-axis. Whenever one point is lying only on the x-axis, the y will be 0, isn't it? So, the point what I am taking, P x1, 0. Okay, that time y will be 0, only we are talking about x-axis. So, P of x1, 0, that is the moving point, and the two fixed point they are given. We have to find the point which is lying in the x-axis. No, that point we have to find. Clear now the question? See, let P of x1, 0 be a moving point. A 7, minus 6 and B 3, 4 are the fixed points. Okay, are the fixed point. Now, they have given the PA is equal to PB because which is equidistant from the point they are given. Equidistant means which will be equal distance. So what PA, the length you are getting, the same PA, PB distance will be having. Clear? So PA equal to PB. Since we are using the distance formula, we have to square on both sides. So PA square equal to PB square. You all know distance formula. See, this 9 is fully of distance formula. For this is for PA and this is for PB. I have written the distance formula. Now P point is what? X comma 0, A is 7 comma minus 6. Similarly, P is x comma 0, B is 3 comma 4. We have to apply this. X1 minus x2 is what? 7. X2 is 7, so minus 7. The whole square. Here whole square will come plus y1. Y1 is what? 0. If you see here, y1 is 0. Here formula 1 minus y2. Here also 1 minus. So it will become plus 6. Whole square is equal to x1 is x1. X2 here is what? 3 whole square plus again here also y1 is 0 minus y2 is 4 the whole square. Clear? Everywhere what formula we are applying? The same formula, a square minus 2ab plus b square. So this is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Then here 0 plus 6 the whole square means just 6 alone you will get. Isn't it? So 6 if you square will get 36. Equal to again a square minus 2ab plus b square. 0 minus 4 is what? Minus 4. So minus 4 if you square will get positive 16. So only I am not put here minus 16. Here minus 4 into minus 4 is plus 16. Clear now all of you? So the next step I am multiplying and writing x1 square. 2 into 7, x1 into 7 is what? 14. x1 plus 7 square is 49 plus 36 is equal to x1 square minus 6x1 plus 3 square is 9 plus 16. The next step x1 square minus 14x1, 49 plus 36 is 85, x1 square minus 6x1, 9 plus 16 is 25. Clear? So x1 square minus 14x1 plus 85. I am taking all the terms to the left hand side. Minus x1 square plus 6x1 plus if it comes this side it will become minus 25 equal to 0. So what you will get? Here plus x1 square we are having, here minus x1 square we are having. So both will get cancelled, isn't it? This and this will get cancelled. So what is left here? Minus 14 plus 6 we are having. So minus 14 plus 14 minus 6 is what? Minus 8x1. 85 minus 25 is plus 60. So if this goes that side it will become minus 60. Minus minus I have cancelled. x1 equal to 60 by 8. First I am cancelling both the thing in 2 table. So I am getting 30 by 4. So again I am cancelling the 2 table. I am getting the answer 15 by 2. So the x1 is equal to 15 by 2. Clear? What is the question they are asking? They are asking to find a point on x-axis. So that point alone we have to find. Therefore, the required point on x-axis is the x1 is what? 15 by 2. The y what we have taken 0. So x1 is 15 by 2 comma 0 is the required point on the x-axis. Clear students all of you? The fourth question. Students, fifth question. If a of minus 1 comma 1, b of 2 comma 3 are the two fixed points, then find the locus of your point P so that the area of the triangle APB is equal to 8 square units. They are given in the question. Students, in the introduction part I told you, if they have given two fixed points and another point will be a P. That is the moving point. So AB is the two fixed point, which is the 9 segment, and P is the moving point. So if you join this, you will get what? A triangle shape. So they have given the area of the triangle APB. The total area they have given us 8 square units. Here we have to find the moving point P. Okay, we have to find the locus in this question. Here let P of x1 comma y1 be the moving point. The two fixed points are what they have given. A minus 1 comma 1, B 2 comma 3 are the two fixed points. Okay, they are given area of triangle APB equal to 8 square units they have given. In 10th standard, in coordinate geometry, you have solved how to do the area of triangle if they are given 3 points. Isn't it? How will you do? You will do by cross multiplication or else you will be doing by the formula method. Any one method you will be following. Isn't it? See, How will you be write x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. Again you will be writing x1, y1. Isn't it? Your x1, y1 is what? The same x1, y1 only. x2, y2 means what? x2, y2 means minus 1, 1. This is x2, this is y2. This is x3 and this is y3. Clear now? This is here x1, y1. This is x2, y2. This is x3 and this is the y3. Clear? So x2, y2 is minus 1, 1. x3, y3 is 2, 3. Again I am writing x1, y1, that is same x1, y1 itself. Here in the question they are given area of triangle ABB value is 8 square units they are given. So I have written 8 is equal to 1 by 2. I am doing here by formula method. See what formula will be having x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus y2. Isn't it? So area of a triangle ABB they have given 8 is equal to 1 by 2. x1 means what we are having? The same x1 only. So write that x1. y2 means what we are having? y2 is 1, y3 is 3. So between minus sign, so minus. Plus x2 value what we are having? x2 is minus 1. y3 is what? 3 minus y1. y1 is what? Same y1. Plus x3 is 2. So 2. y1 is what? y1 is same y1, y2 is 1. So close the bracket. The next step I am cross multiplying the 2 to the 8. So 8 2s are 16. So x1, 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So minus 2 into x1 is what? Minus 2x1. Minus I am taking inside. Minus 1 into 3 is minus 3. Minus into minus is plus. 1 into y1 is y1. Then I am multiplying 2 inside. 2 into y1 is 2y1. 2 into 1 is 2. Clear? Next step if you see 2x1. What here will be? Nothing is there means 1. So 2 plus 1 is what? 3y1. Minus 3 minus 2 is what? Minus 5. I am taking all the terms, right hand side terms, everything I am taking to the left hand side. What it will become? Plus 2x1 minus 3y1 plus 5. Already there plus 16 is there. So I am writing that also. 2x1 minus 3y1, 16 plus 5 is what? 21 is equal to 0. Clear? What they are asking? The locus only they are asking here. Find the locus of a point P. So what you have to write? The same equation you have to write but without x1 and y1. Clear? So therefore the locus of x1 y1 is 2x minus 3y plus 21 is equal to 0. Clear students, all of you, the fifth question? Yes, this exercise is very simple. Only the small thing you have to remember. Clear? Fully the exercise only one formula we are using. What is that? We are using for distance formula. Clear students, all of you? Yes, I hope you all understood the concept locus. Isn't it? With this, I am completing the part 1 session and as well as I am completing the exercise 3.1 also. Clear students? The next part 2 session, we will see the next exercise. Go through the video, copy the classwork neatly with good presentation. Thank you students.